Hello and welcome. My name is Kathy A, and today I thought I would do my April faves and flops. This is the end of the month version. I did have a few mid-month there, but it's been a busy month. So I thought I would just start with a couple of non-makeup items. I was decluttering and I just have to show this off. I found my old Girl Scout sash. I was a junior scout. And these are all my badges. None for makeup, by the way. Outdoor cook, arts, photography, music. I mean, it's really neat. I don't have any on the back, but sign of the arrow, sign of the star. I just, it's so sweet. I can't even get over my head now, of course, but I'm so glad I kept this. You know, I have a sewing one, pottery, outdoor cook. Really neat, huh? A little nostalgia there. I do have this really neat cart that I have all of my makeup stored in, and they're all in these trays, and I've used little compartments. It's kind of like an IKEA, only for 4 people. It's a person's tray, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drawers. I've got something in each one that has relevance to makeup, so I really am enjoying this. I can just pull open a drawer. I'll probably label them too, but I'm really enjoying that. Also, I did want to talk about, this is JOAH, and I think almost all the JOAH wines are good. This is the Chardonnay. Also really excellent. Has it's, you know, it's got a nice crisp, kind of a wet finish. It's a really nice. It's not overly complex. It's not syrupy. It's not pongy. Sometimes Chardonnays especially can get a kind of earthy, walking in the garden when it's wet kind of taste to it. And this is a really nice one. And I like their Pinot Grigio also, and their Rosé. So JOAH is a pretty good line. I haven't tried their reds, and I used to love reds, but because I have chapped lips, I get all this like stain lips, and the next morning when I went into work, if my lipstick wore off, you'd see all this staining from the wine, and it looked like I had the mange, so I haven't really tried them. But JOAH, they're very inexpensive. They run around $10 to $14 a bottle, so if you see this line, it's a pretty good line of wine for a mid-inexpensive wine. Really good. Flop, MAC no longer accepts the Take Back to MAC, the Back to MAC program. I finally got 6 items to take back, and they don't do it anymore. They used to give you a free lipstick for it, and now they will take it back, but they just recycle it, just like you can recycle it yourself. So I was pretty upset with that, with MAC. I mean, ever since those guys sold to, who was it they sold to? Estee Lauder or whoever. Ever since they sold it, it hasn't been the same, hasn't really. So thumbs down, MAC. Last night I actually met another YouTuber at the Mystic Pizza over in Mystic, Connecticut. Yes, just like the movie. Carla Harris. She posted on Facebook. I'm friends with her. I'm friends with a lot of other YouTuber people in the beauty and the mature lady and interest subject sociology kind of department. And Carla, she's in Carla Cash Out Loud. She does interviews with people, people that inspire, people who have accomplished things in their life, people who are really good at what they do. She interviews all kinds of people. She was in the newscasting and public eye for a long time, married to a very prominent gentleman in community government. And she's had a channel for a while. I remember there used to be, I think it was 2 chicks. Oh man, 2 nice chicks or something. She and a friend, they used to do makeup reviews, and like a lot of other YouTubers, she, you know, kind of ventured off from makeup and went on to more other things, because there is really, there is more to life than lipstick. And, you know, I'm one of the hardcore, you know, still doing it. But Carla and I met last night at Mystic Pizza. We had a great dinner. And then she trusted me enough to drive her around, and I showed her where I grew up and, you know, the Battle of Groton Heights at Fort Griswold was one of the places we lost at the Revolutionary War. And I took her by the Submarine Museum, and we just saw, you know, the Nautilus sitting out there. Showed her the beach that I used to walk to as a kid, showed her my high school, and, you know, she was very kind. She acted interested. And knowing, of course, we had to stand in front of that silly shed that is covered with buoys. And they had a bar right there next to it. Boy, I was so tempted, but I had a long drive home, and I can't drink and drive. I won't do that. I mean, I'm naughty in other ways, but I can't drink and drive. But I would have loved to have a beer in that bar because the weather was perfect. Everything was great. We had a great time, spent a couple hours chatting and having fun and girl talk. And so she's visiting the area for a little while. It was a couple hours away from me. I live in a different part of New England, so I had to travel a little bit to get to her, but it was a great time. And so if you haven't yet checked out Carla's channel, please do. She's a great gal. She's really nice in person. I'm really pleased. I always like to meet YouTubers, and I'm really happy when they're nice people in person and they're not just a persona on the air. You know, she's just a real person. My hair color, I just colored my hair, and this is the E Salon. This color is light blonde 9N, and this is the E Salon. They give you a really nice, like they'll give you a really nice pair of gloves that's large enough and thick enough they don't break. They give you the barrier cream, the stain remover cream in case you get any stains from the hair color on your scalp. Really nice shampoo, smells so good, and a conditioner. And I think my hair looks good. I didn't style it at all. I just let it naturally dry like this, so you could see, you know, I can still curl it and everything, but when I color my hair, I like to let it air dry. And this is just the first day, so I think it's really great. I'm going to show you before and after what my hair looked like, because it was getting really mangy looking, white and gray and everything coming in. Gray hair doesn't look good on everybody, okay? I'm just going to say that, all right? Yeah, Nicole. I did want to bring up I take supplements. I'm not on any medications, but I do like to take supplements. And this one is amazing. This is a fish oil from Solimo, and this is Amazon's home brand. But they're gummies, and it is fish oil. It is, these are really good. These are 303 milligram, and they're shaped like little fish. Because I'm not getting enough of the omega-3 fish oils, and so this is a great way to get it down, because I hate seafood, I don't like fish, I don't eat salmon, so what's a girl to do? And most of the fish oil type of supplements are either those things that dissolve in your mouth, and it's like cod liver oil, you know, remember that? Awful, you know? These are wonderful. You can't taste the fish at all. It's absolutely wonderful. So I totally recommend these from Solimo. It's a good way to get in the omega-3s, because that's a really good one, especially as you're aging. I saw this in the Dollar Tree, and it said Beauty Guru Under Eye Serum. And I said, well, Beauty Girl, that must be for me. It's kind of dry. You know, this is one of those products you have to use over time to see if it does anything. It didn't react badly with my makeup. It's just like a roller ball of stuff. It seemed to have some really nice ingredients. So I'm gonna see what happens. You know, it's so far it works really nicely with concealers and stuff. It doesn't make anything pill up. And if it really does have these emollient ingredients, it's a pretty good deal for $1.25. So I'm just testing it out, really. I went to the JOAH stand and I wanted to try their eye primer because it has a lot of skincare ingredients in it. But this, it almost feels like there's nothing in the tube. It's so like dried out. I don't know if it works or not. I'm not sure it really worked well as an eye primer because I didn't see any difference between not using anything and using this. This could be the Emperor's New Clothes. I don't know, but it didn't seem to do anything, and it shows a picture of it like kind of thick. It looked almost like a concealer on the ad, and then when I got it, it's just hardly anything there, so I think I might be returning this. What a shame. There's a new cream in town. This is the JOAH H2O Aqua Gel, and this is just awesome. Wow. This is my morning cream now to put on under makeup. It's so emollient, it's so hydrating, it's just a wonderful, you know, if you go into Aldi's, it's over where all the diaper wipes are and the baby stuff. It's just this tiny little section. In the bigger cities, I think some of the Aldi's there have the makeup, but all the Aldi's around me sold out of it. They had maybe one pack of it and that was it. They never reordered it. But their skincare, I love their face wash gel. It's a cleanser gel, and I also love this, and I love their day cream and their night cream. So either thing from them is good. Just don't get the cleanser in the tube. That's the only bad thing I think I found in the JOAH line that I didn't like. But I'm hearing now that they have face primers and they have all other kinds of things, but they haven't gotten them in any of my local Aldi's, and I go to like 3 different ones, so maybe it's a New England thing. I don't know. We're always last to get stuff. Also in the Dollar Tree, I wanted to try it. This is a matte foundation. I thought it was like a concealer, and it's just very, very patchy, very, it's high pigmented for sure. This is for somebody with acne or with lots of rosacea, want to cover it, but I think it's very patchy looking. It's not very age friendly. So this was a fail from LA Colors, the matte foundation. It's in a tiny tube, so I thought it was a concealer at first. Also, I was really surprised to see this is the Flower Beauty Get Real foundation, and it was at a Dollar Tree. So they might be repackaging or reformulating or something, but I noticed that it just seems to be the one shade, and it's like Fish Belly White Girl shade. It was a little light even for me, and I wore it at work, and I was kind of embarrassed because after like an hour at work I had to use the restroom, and I was looking in the mirror. I was like, oh my god, I look like patchy. Talk about Fish Belly White. Patchy, flaky, textury. It broke apart on my chin. It was the worst. This is like probably the worst found, and I don't know if it's old or what the problem is, but usually when I go a little too light with foundations, that happens with them. My skin looks bad if I go a little too light, so I always tend to go up about a half shade from my actual color. So the Get Real from Flower that they have at the Dollar Tree, unless you're extremely pale, honestly, I wouldn't use it. If you are oily skin, maybe it'll work better, but it did break out. So this might be old. Maybe they discontinued this. I don't know. This is what is known as the DRMTOLGY. This is the Universal Tinted Moisturizer SPF 46. Now this is another Facebook feed item that I fell for. These gals had kind of ruddy looking skin. They took a couple of pumps of this, put it on their skin, and they just look so smooth, and they said, I don't even need makeup. Well, I tell you, it's extremely sheer. Extremely. Like you don't see it at all. It's absolutely, it's so sheer that all it does is give you a little bit of shine to your skin. It has a smell of like garden plants, kind of a smell to it. It does have the SPF of 46. It does not play well with makeup, especially powder makeup. Oh my god, that was, oh my gosh. It was terrible. So dermatology, it's called. It's missing all the vowels in the word, but it's supposed to kind of spell out dermatology. Is an absolute fail, and it's only one shade, but it's so sheer it wouldn't affect anybody's skin, dark or light skin colors. So it definitely was a fail. The only thing I could say you could use this for would be as SPF protection. So as a sunscreen, I guess, yeah, but you can't put any makeup over the top of it without it smearing. If you put powder makeup over the top, it looks very, very patchy and cakey, and what a fail. So I am returning it, so I thought I would do a separate little segment with just this, just to get it out of the way. Oh my goodness. Now, a success with LA Colors at the Dollar Tree was this pressed powder. Now I got a deeper shade with the idea that I could use it for a bronzer, and it actually works quite nicely bronzing. Very, very nice. It lasted, it blended nicely, looks good. The packaging is horrible. I mean, it's very hard to figure out how to close this thing, and it comes with this little teeny like spongy thing. It's like a little thin piece of styrofoam almost. It's awful, this. But the pressed powder itself in the shade Tan, it's the shade Tan, works really nicely as a light bronzer for me. And I thought it, you know, for $1.25 it was worth trying it, and I was very pleased. This looked good at first, but it wore off so quickly that by noontime there was no blush left. So it dissipates into the foundation universe. This is the LA Colors, and this is the LA Colors Sweet Cheeks, it's called. That's the color. And at first it looked like this was going to be a great, you know, like that cold girl color that's so popular, that everybody likes, you know, because it looks like the NARS one. Poor NARS, you know, everybody's duping it. Nobody's going to buy the real thing because there's so many copycats. Now this would have been a dupe for the NARS and worked really well, except after an hour, literally, it was gone. It was completely gone. So it wears off so easily, or, you know, falls off. I'm not sure. But I moved my face, I guess that's it. So this was a fail. Two more things from the Dollar Tree. Let me get them out of the way here, and then we'll get into some serious makeup. This is the glitter lip gloss. This is the REMI brand from Dollar Tree, and this is the Georgia shade. There is a little kind of candy kind of flavor. Let me just put it on. It does taste a little like candy, and it looks great. It doesn't last very long, but it's a great shine. It doesn't feel sticky at all, and it's nice and pretty shiny, but you're going to have to reapply it several times during the day. But this is on one of those end caps that's down by the cleaning fluids and stuff. It's not with the rest of the makeup. It's on like a separate little, you know, those cardboard stands, end cap kind of things. It was on that display, and I really like it. This is the color Georgia, like Georgia peach, and I think it's really pretty. I like it so pretty while it stays on. If you take your first sip of coffee or something, it's gone, but it's really nice, from the REMI company. This other one, this is the makeup stick. It's supposed to be a multi-use stick, and I like this pale raspberry color, so I thought I would use it. But it's that kind of bluish pink color, and it's not flattering on everybody. Hardly any pigmentation. And you're supposed to be able to use it on your cheeks, your lips, and your eyes. I wouldn't use it on my cheeks or my eyes, but it did work as a pale topper for my lips, so it's not really great, but it's not extremely bad either, but it didn't last very long either. I mean, there's just no longevity with the LA Colors lip products. but there was no scent to it, which is a positive thing. For concealer, I tried the JOAH, and this is the Wand Me Up concealer from JOAH, and it's actually quite nice. I'll put it over here. The warmth of your hand works best with it to kind of punch it in. And right over here, I'll put it over here. Very, very nice concealer. I'm really impressed with the JOAH line. That's Kiss Beauty out of New York. They contracted a company out of Korea to make these makeup items for them, and they called it JOAH, which means I like it, I guess, is what it means in Korean. JOAH. I like it. So I do like it. I think it's a great concealer. And these, you know, they're fairly inexpensive as drugstore products go. You can find these in CVS. You can find them on the JOAH Beauty website. You can find them on Amazon. So there's 3 locations. I didn't see them anywhere else. They're not like at Ulta or Sephora or anything like that, but they are worth checking out. Now this shade, this is Fair. Could probably get away with going to the next shade up, you know, from Fair, but it's hard to tell. I think I got this online, and you can't tell from online swatches. So JOAH Wand Me Up concealer. Also from JOAH, this was an unusual one, and I did discuss this when I did my top foundations video recently. I just did a top foundations, and this is, even though it's not really considered a foundation, it's more of an illuminating stick. This is like a BB cream in stick form, and it is so nice. I mean, you literally can just draw it on and just press it in, and it's there. It is so nice. The consistency is nice. It's a light coverage. It's really good. Like, you can put your concealer to cover any of your discolorations, and then you can draw this on, blend it in with your hands or with a brush, and it looks fabulous. This particular one is Fair with Cool Tones, and it's actually more of a light to light medium shade. So the shades are a little bit wonky as far as, you know, what you would expect, but it seems it's darker than you would expect for a fair shade. This is shade F50, and F50 in the Illumination Stick shade, Fair with Cool Undertone. And it's really nice, and it's not so much a cool undertone as a neutral undertone, so don't be afraid of it. It's not going to go gray on you like a lot of Korean products do. Number 7, this is the Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation. This is pretty much like my top foundation next to the other one I'm going to discuss with you in just a moment. Absolutely fabulous foundation. They have all new packaging for their stuff, so make sure you look for the one that says Advanced. It's Protect and Perfect Advanced. It's got 50 SPF. So the sunscreen in it is a natural sunscreen. It's not a chemical sunscreen. It does have a little bit of that sunscreen smell to it, but it's absolutely, I'm wearing it today, and I absolutely love this. It's just an amazing foundation, and I think Walgreens was having their buy one get one 50% off sale this week, so I don't know if it's still going on till Friday, or, you know, I don't know, but great deal on this. It's great to try it, and the color I have is Cool Vanilla. The shade on the box looks a little bit lighter or darker than what the actual shade is, so look at the bottle, not the shade on the top, and you'll find a good shade for you, because the Cool Ivory was a little bit dark for me, and I think this does oxidize up a half shade, so go right at exactly what your skin tone is, and then it might go up a half a shade, but that's forgivable. And I think that this Yeah, cool vanilla, absolutely fabulous. And it's not too cool, it's not gray, it's just a wonderful shade. Another one from the JOAH counter. This is their Crystal Glow Peptide Infused Foundation. This was my, well, I think it was tied for my top two favorite foundations of this year so far. JOAH Crystal Glow Peptide Infused. And I have the shade Fair to Light with Cool Undertones. And again, it is not too light. Look at that. It's much deeper than you would think it would be. So it's just a magnificent foundation. It blends like a dream into your skin. I just blend it with my fingers. And a lot of us, you know, from the 60s, that's how we put our makeup on. We put our finger over the cap, we shook it, and then we put it on with our fingers. That's how we did it. The fancy schmancy people in the white coats at the fancy stores, they used to use those little wedges to put the makeup on, and I thought that was the fancy stuff. Now we have all kinds of gear we can put things on with, but a brush or a damp sponge works nicely. This is a thin serum, so either use a brush to buff it in or use your fingers. And again, JOAH Peptide Infused, and this is the shade Fair with Cool Undertones. I think it's shade 40. Really wonderful, absolutely. And this is the foundation from JOAH. I tried it again because it's been a while. It's been a minute since I've been in a Dollar General. I wanted to try the Believe Beauty foundation again, and I was just disappointed. You know, they have like 8 slots that all look exactly the same shade. This one I think is Rose Nude. No, this is just Nude. Rose Nude look identical to this, so I don't know what the differential aspects of the foundations are, but it's basically white girl, white girl, white girl, white girl, white girl, kind of medium dark, and then one sort of dark shade. Their shade range is really dodgy. I don't know how old this stuff is. Dollar General, to me, the employees, I don't think they care if they rotate their foundations or if the sun's coming in and hitting and bubbling them in the bottle. This was a disappointment. This kind of, you know, it looked a little cakey, and I didn't think it blended very well. It did get a little patchy around in my lines. It did go into all my lines and accentuate the texture. So I don't know if they changed it, if I got an old one or what, but it's not the same stuff that I used to love when I purchased it when it first came out, what, 4 or 5 years ago? I don't know, but it's been that since then, since I've tried it. So it was a disappointment for me, even though it's a nice price. You know, sometimes it's not, cheaper isn't always better, you know. Speaking of brushes, I wanted to talk about this new one. This is a Real Techniques. This is the Control Your Coverage brush, and it's kind of a dial up. You can start off with just a little bit. You go to the first line and it's just a little bit, so you can go into the smaller areas or you can buff in your contour. Then you can go into the mid-length if you want to put like blush on, or you know, if you want to do contour or something like that. And then you could go full sash if you want to put your foundation on, or blush, or you know, your liquid foundation. So I think it's a really cool concept. I have washed this several times and I had to be careful not to get the water in here because I didn't want it to separate. But it washes really well. It holds its shape, and it is the, is it called a 3-way? 3-in-1. 3-way. Okay. Yeah, it says 3-in-1 to sheer to medium to full coverage. Yep. So as you make it smaller, it does compact the bristles more. So it really compacts them there. So if you want to do around your nose or concealer, this is a really fun brush. So I'm glad I got it. It's a lot of fun. And I like Real Techniques brushes anyway. I think I have the most of those of anything in my collection. Number 7 did change its packaging. This is the silver packaging. This is the Lift and Illuminate triple action pressed powder. We're used to seeing that pretty silver container. We get all our fingerprints all over it usually, and it usually folds up and there's some kind of little applicator. There's no applicator, there's no folding up anymore. It's just in the pan. You do get the mirror, and shade light, really nice. You can still use it to set under the eyes. You can work with a brush and get the rest, or you can do contour or finishing or setting. Absolutely beautiful. It's still the same. They didn't reformulate it, they just repackaged it into this uber modern looking. I don't think it's as luxurious looking in this format. For blushes, what I'm wearing today, this is Moira, and this is the Sweet Tease blush, and this is a Sweet Tease is the color. These are two blushes that work really well. You can do the, what do we used to call it? We used to call it draping, when you used a deeper color on the bottom and a lighter color on the top in the 1980s. Remember the draping? This has a little mirror with it. Moira's got some really high quality products. Hit or miss with me, and I mean, people go nuts over the Moira products, but I'm not 100% on the brand. I think some things are nice, but like some of the color story's a little off. I did try the NYX Sweet Cheeks. This is in Ride and Play, Rose and Play. Really, really pretty color. Blends out beautifully. This Sweet Cheeks line is really, really nice, and I think this is just a beautiful spring color. It's very subtle. You can build it up, and it looks marvelous. If you have light to medium skin, this is a beautiful shade for springtime. Now with JOAH, I did want to try this because so many people had talked about it, and this is very pigmented. Oh my gosh, yeah, very pigmented. You can see, really, really strong. A little goes a very long way, so I would use a very light powder brush maybe with it, just to kind of diffuse it out a little bit. But you can get it to look so beautiful, and it lasts all day. This is unlike that Dollar Tree one. This one lasts so well. Absolutely beautiful. This particular shade in the JOAH is called Warm Poppy, and these are the Air Light blushes from JOAH. Now the brush, speaking of brush, this is a set of brushes from a Native American indigenous lady who has a makeup company, and this is the tea brush set. It's on sale right now. I think it's like $25 or something. It's absolutely beautiful. I love these. They're soft. They're cruelty free. There's eye brushes and face brushes. Pretty much everything you need for a complete face. And it's a beautiful color. It feels very high-end. The ferrule's weighted nicely. And Blended Girl. Also from Blended Girl, I did get her Good Medicine palette, and she was having a sale, I think, on this. I'm not sure. Look at this beautiful colors. And I am wearing a lot of this on my eyes today. Now this blue looks like it would be very wild, but on the eye it translates much less severe. So even though it looks really bright, it's actually a little more subtle, and it's so pretty for spring. You know, these are spring colors and summer colors. Really, really beautiful. And of course, I am studying right now Native American First Nation culture. I will be doing a series of 6 videos all about different aspects of Indigenous life and modern issues and things like that. I'm really interested in the culture. I have all kinds of research going on. I'll probably release those videos at the end of summer, but this is part of that research too. I wanted to try Indigenous companies and support them, and she's one of them. I also got a lipstick, and I mean, she packages everything so nicely. You know, it's really, it's kind of like Beautylish packaging, where they really take care, they make sure that it's padded well so it won't, you know, break. She has her, you know, blended girl packaging, really, really nice. Right now, she's a little low stock. I think she's getting all new products in for the summer. But this is the liquid lip, and it's a really pretty gloss. It's a very nice, natural, warm look. It's going to be beautiful in summer and fall especially. I really like it. It's very smooth. It's unscented. Great formula. It lasts. It makes your lips look very hydrated, very age-friendly. So all 5 stars from me on this brand and on these products. Prices are very fair. She ships on Fridays, so make sure you have a look. She ships on Fridays, and I tell you, I think she spent like $15 to ship this to me, the eye palette, and she does send a thank you card. It's very personalized. You know you're dealing with a real human being. She's a one-man show. I mean, she packs, she ships, she orders, she does everything. But this tea set of brushes is definitely worth checking out. The eye brushes just apply the makeup so nicely and smoothly on your lids. The face stuff is wonderful, especially the powder brush is wonderful. What a nice company to work with, and I'm just so glad that I liked it as well. And this palette's going to give me hours of fun. But this is the lady. Another indigenous company is Prados. Prados is a Native American owned indigenous makeup company. They are featured in JCPenney. You know, all the Sephoras were taken out of JCPenney. JCPenney got in a lot of unusual brands and some basic brands. They got NYX and e.l.f. and things like that, but they also got these interesting brands. This is indigenous owned company called Prados, and this particular palette is the Secreto palette. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but the colors, oh man. I'm going to see if you can see this. It's just stunning, and you can see there's little hummingbirds. Just put it here. See, there's hummingbirds in the pattern. Isn't that beautiful? The shades, I mean, you have your basic lid shades, your basic transition shades. You've got a couple of warm transition shades, light purples, light turquoise. You've got the purples. You've got some shimmers, some browns. You could do, you know, your basic neutral eye plus a little pop, and it's just, it's a stunning palette. It really is, and I love the little hummingbird imprint. Really, really beautiful. So again, another indigenous company. I do recommend it. It is on sale right now on the JCPenney website. I think it's 30% off or something. It just takes them a week to get it to you. You know, I'm so Amazon spoiled, you know. I'm like, oh, it's not here tomorrow. You know, I was like, had to wait a whole week for it to come. But this is a beautiful palette, and I think that it has, I had a lot of fun with this one. For eye makeup, I did try, and oh gosh, it was Bobby from Mindful Midlife. She was talking about all of the under eye tight lining eye pencils she tried, and she tried like, I don't know, 10 of them or whatever, and this one worked. So I went right out and got it, and boy does it. This is the Milani eyeliner. It's like a pencil eyeliner. You can make it come up. On the other end you get both a sharpener and a diffusing kind of sponge tip, but it works underneath in your lash line. Really, really nice. It stays, it does not move. absolutely wonderful. So I do recommend this. I wish they would get more colors. It's just in black. I think right now it might be in a brown as well, but this is marvelous. Really, really good. Worth it. And this is the one that works for her. All the other ones had slight issues one way or another. This one was perfect in pretty much every way. So thank you, Bobby, there from Mindful Midlife, for recommending this, because this is my new favorite. Now this one, I picked up the JOAH foundations, the illumination stick, and also the foundation. This was on an end cap, and this is the new JOAH High Roller Mascara. I'm wearing it now. It's got like Better Than Sex Too-Faced mascara kind of feel to it. It's got that kind of hourglass shape, very much like the Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. They could very well be made at the same place, because that's the vibe I got from it. It feels the same. It's a little bit messy. It's a very wet formula. Nice tube, cute, with the little zebra thing. I like it. It lasts. It doesn't leave dings. It doesn't flake. So, I mean, it passed all those tests. I would say it's pretty good. It's just, it's a little bit messy. And this particular kind of brush isn't my favorite. This hourglass kind of brush. A lot of product comes out, and so it's easy to ding yourself with excess product, and I'm not real keen on that. But I think all in all, it worked really well. So if you're looking for a new mascara, this one gives you heaps of volume, heaps of length. It works really well. Also from JOAH, there is three eyeshadow palettes. Two of them look almost identical, and the other one has some very strange looking eyeshadows in it. This is the Color Haul from JOAH, and these shadows are really nicely pigmented, a la Urban Decay-ish. Really, really nice. This particular one is Smoke Show, it's called. These are very, very pigmented colors. Really, really nice. Let me see if I can get one of these deeper shades in. It's a dark brown shade. It's not, there's no like black in the palette, but there are some nice kind of mid-tone shimmers. You can make a few different eye looks from this. They are slightly warm, but you can smoke out, and there is this kind of, it's kind of a, I want to say duochrome, but yeah, and you've got this kind of orange shade. I like to use that right on the edges, and it kind of warms up the edges. And this is just beautiful as a shimmer. You can see it just brighten that all right up. Really, really pretty. So these aren't bad. I mean, I wish they would get some more color stories in, because the other one looks similar to this, except it's got a couple of different colors. And then there's a third one that was just all yellows and marigolds and oranges, and I was like, oh, really? So, I don't know. I think if they get some more color combinations in, I would get another palette. But I do like the quality of this is very, very good. From JOAH Beauty, this is the Color Haul eyeshadow palette. Okay, now this said it was new and improved. This is the LA Colors 6-color eyeshadow palette, and I thought, oh well. And you know, I was really actually impressed. It stayed on through my whole work day, and it's got a really nice assortment of colors. You know, your basic neutral kind of palette. There is a shimmer shade in here that's not bad at all. Let me just see if it'll work here in the middle. Yeah, it works in the middle. But it's got kind of a satin brown, a matte brown. It's got some transition shades. It's got a nice light shade. It's very sheer though. This light shade is sheer. This would be maybe for a base. You could use it for a base color. just a little too sheer for me. Even though it's new and improved, when you're at the lowest, new and improved is just slightly higher than the lowest. So, you know, I'd pass on this probably. They did have other color stories in this, and I might try like the amethyst one that I saw that had some, you know, purples in it, but you know, I'm not 100% on this particular one from a Dollar Tree, like $1.25. So, you know, I'm trying to be good. Now, also from JOAH, this is definitely worth checking out. This is their cream lipstick. This is in Swipe Right, is the name of this color. And I want to show you how pretty this is. Let me just pull my lipstick off. Let me just put this in. It's called Swipe Right. I guess it's to do with like those dating apps. So that is Swipe Right, and very pretty. It's very hydrating. There's no scent to it. Really nice case to it. These were around $9. They're not expensive at all. It's from JOAH Beauty. I did get this one on Amazon because they didn't have these lipsticks in either of the two CVS's near me. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous color. I don't know if they have, they do. They have it under the cap. Wow. I haven't seen that in a while where they have the sample in the cap. Holy cow. I wonder if they, well, they don't advertise that they do that, but isn't that nice? You got a little extra in the cap there. That used to be something they did in the drugstores, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, so we could try it on our hands to sample it without touching the lipstick part. Isn't that super cool? Wow. Okay, I did go to the Sephora sale. I don't shop at Sephora, but I went to Kohl's. I went to Kohl's because I know that Sephora won't get as much of a profit if I buy any Sephora items from Kohl's. Now, the reason I did get something and I wasn't going to get anything is because Sephora lip products are wonderful. And they have a new formulation for one of their lip products, and then they have an oldie but goodie. This is the new satin formula, and it's just so beautiful. This particular color, it's called One More Round. This particular color is called One More Round. And it's kind of a raspberry shade. I wanted to get a raspberry shade for spring. It's a magnificent formula, really. From Sephora, it's a Sephora brand itself, and they are having 30% off of the Sephora brand stuff. And this is what it looks like. One More Round is the name of this color, number 2. And this is their satin formula. It's the black case. Absolutely stunning, really. And this one is, this is Rise Above, number L17. Again, I wanted to get something a little more cool tone, and this is more of a cool tone Dusty Rose version pink, because I tend to go warm with my lipsticks, and this is more of, it's a pink. It's still within range because I'm kind of spring summer. If you want to do that color me beautiful thing, I'm in between spring and summer, because as I got older I went a little cooler for some reason. So beautiful, beautiful shade. And you know, the lacquer series from Sephora is really wonderful. So I think each of these wound up being like $9 each or something in the sale. So I thought that they were a terrific deal. From Catrice, this is one of their shimmer lipsticks. And I just want to put that there. Kind of an interesting shade. From Catrice, this is called Drunken Diamonds, number 30. I'll just put it over the top of this one. Create a new shade. And this is a pretty topper that adds a kind of a cool tone to whatever lipstick you're wearing. Really, really nice. Catrice has a great line, and of course Catrice and Essence are sister companies. They're made in the same factory. Catrice is geared towards people over the age of 21, and Essence is geared towards people under the age of 21. So that's why they're sister companies, and you'll find more age-friendly products in the Catrice line than you will in the Essence line. So I really love their lip products, and this particular lipstick was wonderful. Now this was a fail from JOAH, and it's a glitter lip gloss, and I just want to show you how it's so pretty, but once I put it on my lips, I could feel all the grit of the micro glitter. I mean, I could feel like grit in there. It just was like sandpaper almost. It was so weird. It was just weird. This particular shade, maybe it's just with the shimmer shades. This one is number Stardust, number 2, Glow 2, and from JOAH Beauty. And it's so pretty on, but when you put your lips together, you feel the grit. It's like somebody put dirt in your lipstick, and it's just, you know, I was going, what is this? You know, it was just so weird. Anyway. So I did want to discuss, I've been watching a few shows. I've been binge watching a few shows. The first one was, because there was all this controversy when Prince Harry came out with that book, Spare. It caused a lot of hustle and bustle, and of course the coronation's coming up next month for King Charles, and Harry and Meghan Markle as his wife, you know, they left kind of the royal life and went to live in California with her, and they've been causing quite a stir. If you ever watch Lady Colin Campbell, she's got a funny kind of YouTube propaganda for the royals kind of a show. Really funny. And you learn a lot though. You know, she's very, very well read, you know, and she's like a socialite, Hedda Hopper kind of person. She's gossipy, and she always is ripping them apart, always ripping them apart. But anyway, I wanted to watch Suits, because Suits was a series that was very popular, and she was like one of the stars in that show, and I thought, oh, I want to see what she's like as an actress. So I started to watch it, and darn if I didn't get stuck in it. I mean, like, I'm binge watching. I'm on season 4 now. I can't stop watching it. I love that show. It's so interesting. So I've been watching Suits. And I just watched for the second time, was binge watching Rutherford Falls, which again, you know, the whole thing with the Native American thing and the First Nation, indigenous people, I've been just so digging it. You know, I'm really like fangirling on the indigenous people. And so I've been watching that. And so that's how, you know, it's been a busy month. I'll be talking about these separately. They were sent to me in PR. I really want to experiment with them a little bit more before I talk to you about them. From Delancey. They sent me 3 palettes, but I'll talk to you about them probably later in the month. I'll do some demos or something with them. I very rarely get PR because I don't want it. It's usually wrinkle creams or some electrocution device, or, you know, it's nothing, or it's like an object of something from Amazon, like, oh, we love your show, would you like this car part, you know, and I'm like, not really. There was one, it was like a shower holder for your cell phone. A shower holder. I'm like, no thank you, you know. Really? Do people really have to have their phone in the shower with them? Anyway, So that pretty much does it for me. I hope all of you are having a wonderful week. It's beautiful springtime here, except it leaves a haze of pollen on my car every morning, so I get to do the windshield wash thing and have the green haze on everything. Birds and the bees and all. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.